How can you actually retire early? How can you get into the Coast Fire movement? How do you get out of your 9 to 5? So here's how I got out of my 9 to 5. Got a job valet parking. I was living in my car. I moved out to LA to be with a girl. Ended up in my car. Then I ended up on getting a job as a valet parking attendant. It was terrible. People were stealing my tips. So then I went and moved down by the beach, slept in a tent. Then someone knew that I was sleeping in my car. So then they let me sleep on the couch in a studio apartment. So in a shared studio apartment, except I was on the couch, okay? There wasn't even a segregated room. We were literally in the same room together. Crazy, right? For 6 months. I was paying him $260 a month to sleep on the couch. And then I got an apartment. And here's how you do it. So if you don't have a service that you can offer people, it's going to be hard to quit your 9 to 5. So you first have to say, do you have a product or service that you can offer people? And that's something we can talk about in a different video. But let's just go ahead and say that you do. And how do you scale from there? So I was a personal trainer. I had personal training experience, although I was really scared to even ask people for money. But someone told me, hey, you can make $100 an hour, you can make 6 figures in this city. So I said, okay, that sounds like a good enough goal to me. Coming from a small town outside of Nashville, that was just, why not just go for the money goal? I don't know, that's what people in LA do, so let's go for it. So how do you quit your 9 to 5? You get your first client. How did I get my first client? I walked up to the Hollywood Hills and I asked somebody, I am a trainer, would you like a free session? And then after that, they said, how much is training? It was a couple. They ended up being Marlon Brando. Her husband was Marlon Brando's architect. The other one, she did the movie White Man Can't Jump. Just because you're on the Hollywood Hills and you ask people and you talk to people, you can actually get, leads that way. You have to put yourself out there. You have to go talk to people. And most people are not going to do this, and most people will not have any money, and then most people will not be able to retire. So this is how you actually do it. And this is how people get rich. This is the only way to get rich. There's a 0.01% chance you'll get rich doing all these kind of get rich quick things. The way that you actually get rich is you have a plan, and then you strategically implement it day by day. And you reduce your expense and you increase your income, you shave off the top, and then you reinvest that either into the business or into the stock market and index fund, low-cost index funds. And I didn't have a business that I felt like I could scale, so I just did the low-cost index funds, and it paid off because it will pay off, because you don't know what you're doing as far as trading unless you're going to spend 10 years learning how to trade. You're just going to lose your money. So just let them do the work for you. Let the big companies and the CEOs produce things, and then you get paid for that, right? Because they're working really, really hard, and you can just sit back and don't look at it. You just put it in and just let it go. That's all you have to do. So how do you quit your 9 to 5? You have a product or service that you can offer people, and all you have to do is be able to get one client with your product or service. For me, it was personal training. I got one client at $100 an hour, and then I realized if I can get one for $100 an hour, that's $400 a month. Oh my gosh, off doing 1 hour a week. What if I can get one, I can get 10. So then that's $1,000 a week off 10 hours of work. That's, wow, that's $52,000 a year. Holy crap. What if I could do 20? Well, that's $104,000 a year. Holy crap. That's like I was going to school for being a PA, and then I realized I'm making more than the physician's assistant. This was like 2012 maybe, or 2010. I was going to have to go take out a $200,000 loan and then hopefully make it through the program. But I already had a client list, already had clients, already had everything. So I just decided to double down, build wealth, kind of get my early retirement things packed away. And then once you get halfway there, maybe you say, this really isn't it. I don't feel like saving anymore, but now I've got enough money. I can kind of focus on helping people instead of just worrying about just getting money and sitting back, because you're just bored and miserable if you just get money and sit back. So an overarching mission is the best thing that you want. You want to be able to help people, and that's why I'm doing this now. I'm trying to help people get to a spot where they do understand that they can manage their money wisely, and you don't need to retire necessarily, but you can use it to build your car project, sit at home and read books and light a candle. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Maybe it's best for you to go to work 9 to 5. I don't know. But you don't have to listen to me. I just know you have to figure out what you do want, what your values are, and go for it. And for me at the time, it was training. I figured out how to make $125 an hour training people. If you're a plumber, electrician, or any of those things, basically anybody that can make $60,000 to $80,000 a year can retire early. And it's just a matter of your expense. So if you're trying to quit your 9 to 5, work your day job, have a product or service, can be consulting, coaching, training, whatever you have, make one sale. The biggest thing is going to be trying to get leads. It's hard to get leads, right? And I figured out how to get leads for training, finally, because I have no marketing. I was never into finance. I was never into marketing. I didn't care. I just wanted to race cars, ride my skateboard, pick up chicks, party, stuff like that, right? And then I learned about this, and I was like, okay, this is the way to do it. So all you have to do is get one client. And then once my client list, and I was making enough money to stop, that where the money from my business outgrew the money I was making from parking cars, then I could reduce this a little bit and spend a little bit more time on this. And I was like, man, if I just get 2 more clients, maybe I wouldn't even have to work at that place anymore. And then I got another one. I was like, do I really even need to work at that place anymore? We've got 20,000 cash in the apartment. She's making money. I'm making money. Man, I'm really just like I'm doing really good. You can do that. You can get to that spot. I was literally living in a tent, living in my car, living on the couch. And then now my retirement's completely stocked up and I don't have to worry about ever being poor ever again. Now, I need to work about 10 hours a week to pay my bills. But if I wanted to take 5 years off or something like that, I totally could. I could just pack up right now and go to Florida and have a little vacation. I don't want to do that. I don't like seeing my money go down. I like seeing it go up. And I like to help people. And I also like to make $100 an hour. It feels really good. So, and I think everybody does. Everybody likes to provide a service to someone and then get a lot of money back for providing that service. How good is that? If you can help someone and then people are like, yeah, take my money. It's an awesome feeling, right? Because it's a fair exchange. You're giving them something, and in return, they're like, "This is so valuable to me. I'm going to give you a lot of money for it." It feels great. It means you're valuable. It makes you feel good about yourself, because you have something to offer people. You're actually helping people. So, if you need more help, one-on-one coaching, JakeTeasler.com, link in the description and in the comment section. I can help you put together a plan. We can talk about the specifics on where you're at, how to get there. See, I didn't even start this until I was 30. I have to go back and look at my Vanguard account, but it was like 30 or 32. I'm 42 now. So I didn't even get started on this until it was later. So let's say you're 22, dude, you could crush it by 30. You could be, you'll be a multimillionaire if you start at your 20. Even if you start in your 20s, early 20s or late 20s, or even early 30s like I did, you can still crush it. You just need to know this stuff. It's just like basic. They should teach us in high school, but we're in this financial system where we're kind of a slave to this money. So don't be a slave to money. Figure it out, have a plan, set it up, knock it out for 5 years, 3 to 7 years at least, and then you're set up for the rest of your life. Hopefully that helps you. All you're gonna do is work, get a product or service, make that offer, get one, figure out how you did that, scale it up, and then sit back. If you need help with all that, I know it's confusing. Hopefully that will help you. If you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment so I can figure out who I'm talking to and how I can help you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.